That.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Isaac Christopher Lubogo. Some of you know us, what we do here at Sui Generis. Listen, these are some of the works that the Lord God of Israel has enabled us to do. We're coming to 70 books now running, 70 books authored by Isaac Christopher Lubogo and the team of Sui Generis. And this is the new invasion we have right now. This is the new one that we have. This is new stuff that the world hasn't known about. And let me read for you, for example, the review that was written of this book. It says, The Art of Imagined Conversation, a transformative journey into philosophical inquiry. The Art of Imagined Conversation by Isaac Christopher Lubogo delivers a tour de force that challenges the very essence of traditional literary discourse with masterful blend of philosophical inquiry, intellectual curiosity, and narrative ingenuity. Listen, we're inviting people now to do stuff that is out of the ordinary. So in this book, we kind of create debates. Debates, for example, this is a debate through, about aspects to do with whether or not lawyers should actually call themselves learned. So we're talking about, for example, this is the unlearning the unlearned profession. For example, rethinking legal expertise in a complex world, right? So we create debates from different entities or different personalities between professors, for example, from Harvard, professors from Yale, professors from Makere, professors from, like here, I'll give you an example. For example, the interview it says, welcome to this intellectual stimulating debate on whether lawyers should actually cease referring to themselves as learned. We have two distinct debaters, Isaac Christopher Lubogo and professor from Harvard Law School. So Mr. Lubogo, let's start with you. Can you please elaborate your argument? And then I respond. I say, thank you. My contention is rooted in the philosophical underpinning of legal practice. Lawyers, by constantly relying on precedents and established norms, risks becoming trapped within the confines of existing frameworks. So this over-reliance on precedents stifles creativity and innovation, preventing lawyers from thinking critically and imaginatively about novel legal issues. And then the professor replied, this is a philosophical, of course, debate. Like the professor from Harvard Law School replied and says, while I appreciate Mr. Lubogo's philosophical perspective, I must respectfully disagree. The notion of precedent is not a hindrance to legal innovation, but rather a cornerstone of the rule of law. Precedent should provide stability, predictability, and consistency in the legal decision making. Listen, this is just something to invoke your thinking and invoking your. So it's a great debate with many super nice topics. Listen, we talk about, for example, things to do with prostitution, things to do with the hubris syndrome, things to do with whether or not religion does block reason, things to do with embracing sadness, things to do with schadenfreude, things to do with proclamation excelesta, a magnum opus of national metamorphosis in terms of what they call the Eura examiner illumination, things to do with concepts of nemesis, things to do with the law of love, things to do with abortion, condoms, unveiling the enigma of interval between common sense and even a case for Uganda. So it's quite a big book, but it's very, very wonderfully crafted for you guys to comprehend and understand. Listen, we've got others here from Wonderful Mama here. We've got others here. This is the latest law book right now in land law in Uganda. We've got others here, for example, legal personhood of artificial intelligence, whether or not things that are crafted by AI can actually have copyright in law. And then we have here, hospitality and the law. These are new books, hospitality and the law, navigating Uganda's hospitality law. Here we've got this guy here. Some of you know him, the general himself, General Saleh. We've got wonderful books here. Many of them, for example, this has to do with the person with special needs. We got these ones of the illusion of blame, unveiling betrayal, scapegoating the hidden treasures faced by innocent Muslims. We got this guy here called the Matriculation. This is basically important for orals, those of you who like comprehending criminal law and practice. It's a big book, volume much bigger than Objection, my lord. We got strict methodology that talks about homosexuality, history and the likes. We got this guy here called the Internet of Things, right here. Lessons for Uganda, big book itself. We got the guy himself here, Neuroeconomics, Totalitarianism and Museveni dispensation, Kaguda's astute mastery of fundamental Ugandan change. This wonderful piece also, let me read for you the abstract. In the grand tributes to your leadership and societal evolution, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's enduring role in Uganda profounds what they call philosophical exploration. So this abstract introduces what they call contemplative journey, escalated by title, Euroeconomics, Totalitarianism and the Museveni dispensation, Kaguta's astute mastery of Ugandanized fundamental change. Wonderful book right here. We got wonderful books like this guy here, this Tommy here, this called the Executive Constitutional Mandate, demystifying the founder and owner, presidential power over in Uganda. Can the president be sued? Does he have a limitation? A wonderful crafted book here. This is the latest book that you ever need in constitutional law. in Uganda and the history of Uganda. We got wonderful books here. We got this guy here called The Art of Orator. Those of you who like debates and orating, public speaking. We got wonderful public speaking, guys here like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we got super quotes by Mahatma Gandhi. But my guy here, Johnny Cochran. You remember this guy? If the gloves don't fit, you must quit. We got wonderful quotes here by every guy you ever want to know who has ever said anything substantive. Winston Churchill. We got Law of Music here. We got this one by my daughter called Gender, Education of Humanity. Wonderful, wonderful exploration by Zion Margaret Lubogo. We got here Kainerugaba, Museology and Kainerugarism, The Avengers Ethos and Religious Overture. We got wonderful books like Demystifying the Order from Above, this argument of order from above, Uganda versus the Attorney General. Wonderful book here. We got Ubuntu, Bulamu and the Law, an extra textual statistical interpretation tool in Uganda. We got Unveiling Blackness, a constant fight against neo-colonialism. We gotta read that book. We got Cyber Law, the book itself here, Cyber Law. We got everything that you ever need in Cyber Law in Uganda. We got this guy called Exhausting the Inexhaustible Buganda Ghost. Hoodwink, Dumped and Redumped, A Quest for Buganda's Independence. A wonderful book here, right here. We got Rebels of Jurisprudence. Everybody you ever know here as a rebel in terms of legal jurisprudence. We got wonderful people here. Wonderful people who we take pride in. People like Professor Joseph Kakoza, Professor J. Oloka Onyango, Professor David Bachebenga, Professor J. W. Kanyahamba, Professor Dr. Sylvia Tamale, Professor Frederick Sempeva, Professor Tuno Mugisha, Professor John Intambereke, Professor Mbazira, Professor Mabdul Mamdan, Professor Ali Mazrui, Professor Tiba Tema Echilu Kubenza, Professor Ibrahim Kiapi, Professor Omono Jo, Professor Juko, Professor Bwenje, Professor Winita Linyeba, Professor Dr. Ronald Nalwairo, Professor Kakungulu, Professor Dr. Kabumba, Dr. Zahara. All these wonderful guys here. I could go on, but I don't want you guys to miss the liberty of comprehending the journals, the legal journals that we have in this nation here. We got others here. We got this one here called Sports and the Law and Entertainment in Uganda. Super book right here. We got one here called The Law of Penology and Criminology. I Can't Breathe. Super book here. We got another wonderful book here called Dictum Money, Law of Cryptocurrency and Cryptography in Uganda. Super book here. We got wonderful books here called, for example, here we got Intelligent Design and the African Ontological and Epistemological Aesthetics, Whether or Not There is God. Listen, this is a wonderful book for you. We got The Law of Gender and Disability in Uganda. Excellent book right over here. Then we got others here, for example, we got another one here, How to Sue Your Medical Doctor, How to Sue Your Lawyer, The Law of Professional Malpractice, and a praise on when and how to sue your medical doctor, practitioner, advocate, engineer, religious leader. Wonderful book for you guys here. Listen, we got Guardians of the Mind, issues that have to do with the mental things, how to do with mental things, how people get berserk, how do you handle issues like that. We got books here. Another interesting one, How to Get Away with Murder, using Bethem's and Stuart Mill's utilitarian jurisprudence, philosophical, appraisal in terms of conversion of moral discourse lessons from the Mignolet case. Wonderful book here. We got Protecting Indigenous Languages. Excellent book right over here. Then we got Gospel According to Sue Genesis. Now, every quote that you probably ever seen us do is in here. Super wonderful quotes on every situation in life. Call this a Bible, so that's what we call it. This is Gospel According to Sue Genesis. Gospel means a message anyway, so don't be offended by that. We got Legal Personhood here. Incredible, wonderful book here. We got another wonderful book here called Chronicles, Counterfeit Chronicles, Unmasking, Exposing, Shuttling Hidden World Epidemic of Fraud, Navigating the Global Battle Against Counterfeit. We got this one, another wonderful book called Borders Beyond, Exploring the Legal Frontiers of Space. Super nice book here in terms of comprehending. You said we launched a satellite, there we go. We got another one here, The Law of Forensics, guys, The Proof Beyond the Shadow of Doubt. Wonderful book here. How do you do these things? How do you execute? We got another one, by the way. That just came out. We have it somewhere here that has to do with unveiling the cold murders, unsolved cold murders in this country. The likes of General Ronda, the likes of what? Of Kawesi, many of those guys. We answer those puzzles for you and what ought have been done. Then we got The Law of Psychology, Psychology of Law. A wonderful bright book here in terms of that. Yeah, we got others here in terms of wonderful books, for example, like Sustainable Environmental Law, the green, going green in terms of what's happening. Then Freedom Through the Law, wonderful book right over here. and so many others. And I mean, I can go on. We got another interesting one here. Said when course to do religion. I know my friend and supervisor, Professor Loka, did one when course to do politics, but this is when course to do religion. So we comprehend aspects of in terms of religion. When religion becomes the question of court interpretation, we got another in here, an appraisal of Winjaga cannabis and associated medicinal harm. Incredible book here. Whether we should actually decriminalize or delegalize it. Aspects to do with the future lawyer, solving criminal puzzles, evolution of the next, generation intelligence, written by myself, Zion Margaret Lubogo, and Israel White Lubogo. Wonderful book right over here. I just told you about this guy here. This is Beyond Gender, written by my daughter. Then we got here The Law of Witchcraft, Sorcery, and Illuminati in Uganda. This is another super book for you to comprehend. Then we got The Law of Fashion, Entertainment Law in Uganda. Super nice books. Guys, I can go on and on. We got massive books right over here. Many are coming. We're saying we got about 70 right now running, but you can find many of our books at lubogo.org and sugeneslawup.com. Listen, this has not been our hands particular. This has been the grace, the supernatural grace of the invisible hand of God. The Bible said, give honor where it is due, so we are grateful to what God has done. This is just the beginning. To use the Uganda phrase, Gachari Mabaga. God bless you. Thank you for your attention.